What's going on, my planting people? I'm Lithius, this is Roots Ready, and we have done it. We've hit that 10,000 subscriber mark. I'm pinching myself because I can't believe it. 10,000 subscribers. So to celebrate this incredible milestone, I am going to be doing an entire houseplant tour. You're going to see the good, the bad, the ugly. You're going to see the plants in the state that I usually find them, because sometimes when I show you the plants, it's usually some of my favorite plants that are doing amazing, but you're going to see those that aren't doing quite so amazing. But before we do that, I just want to express my immense gratitude to every single person who has ever watched this channel once. If you've hit like, if you've even disliked it, you know, whatever it is, I just want to thank every single person, especially those who comment and who come back every single week just to see what this little guy from the UK in his corner of the world has to say about his growing plant collection. So thank you so much for making this such an incredibly fun journey. Yes, the plants do it for me, but it's also the interaction that I have with you guys that really gets me up and going to continue making content like this. So thank you so much. But that's not what you're here for. You're here for this. You're here for the plants, and I'm going to do it justice. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we're going to go through and we're going to see every single plant that I have in my collection. So I've got my plants scattered around my house. The vast majority of them live right here. And this is actually just my living room. This is a corner of my living room right next to this. These are some glass doors, east facing, so we get a lot of nice bright morning light coming in. And I've got some plants behind me and a couple just sort of dotted around. I've got my grow tent as well, so we'll go there next once we've covered off this area, and I've got some in other parts of the house. So yeah, we're gonna see every single one, and I may just forget the names of some plants, so forgive me if I do. Alrighty, let's go. Ooh, and I'll also show you some plants that I have growing outdoors. There are some sort of fruit and veg stuff. Some of them are doing all right, some not so great, but I'm gonna show you all of them anyway. All right, let's start right here. This is my windowsill. It's still my east-facing windowsill. These are my lights that I use to light myself up on my videos. But anyway, this is where I keep some of my plants. I've strategically place some plants up here on these blinds just because this is metal. These are actually magnetic, so that holds up two of my plants. I've forgotten the name of this one. This is the something Bohemiana, but this is like a jungle cactus, a lovely one, growing really well, and that's right next to my string of hearts. Just a solid grower of a plant. Look at it. Doing super well. This plant doesn't give me any issues. It's not thirsty. It's quite a succulent plant, so I don't have to worry about this one much at all. Coming down here, I've got my little cactus garden. I did have 4 plants in here. There was another one in this spot, but that sadly died over the winter. But what we do have, we have some other, what is this? We've got a Pharaoh cactus here, I believe this one is. I've forgotten the name of these ones, but we've still got four cactus, these sort of flat, squat cacti. What is this one? This is a gymnoxylum. I believe that is also a gymnoxylum as well, some kind of species. And back here we have the tetrao cactus as well. I think I might have to find a way to sort of fill that space in at some point. This over here, this is, well, this will be a bonsai. This is my, what do they call this? This is a ficus plant. I forgot the full name of this thing, but I've been growing this one out so that I can have a nice bushy sort of plant to work with and to convert into a bonsai. So keep an eye out for this one. You can see it's growing quite nicely. This is my sort of waterfall cascading avocado tree. You wouldn't think it, would you? Unless you know, unless you're in the know, you wouldn't know that this is an avocado tree. Doing really well on this side, the side that touches the window, whereas this other side that once had amazing canopy has now dropped all its leaves. So at some point I may need to think about maybe just cutting this side off and just training this side up to be a nice-ish bonsai. Back here we have another bonsai in the making. This is a Ficus elastica, the burgundy one. Yeah, that one is coming along. I did do a chop of this recently, and it's already growing back in. You can see this is one of the leaves that I cut through as it was sort of emerging. But anyway, we're going to keep working on this one. Here's another cactus. I think it's like a castle something cactus that I got in a plant swap. So that's doing well. Another ficus over here. There's quite a few ficuses over here. 1, 2, 3. This is my Taniki over here. Whereas the top leaves are coming in quite red, like almost a ruby. So that's quite cool. I did propagate the top of this when it was doing really poorly, and now we have quite a few branches. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4 branches. So a nice thick canopy. And back here we have my Vix plant actually, which is doing all right, to be fair. It's tucked away back here, so I don't really get to see this one or appreciate it as much as I could. But before we get to the main event behind me, I've got 2 other plants over here. I've got my large peace lily. I say large, not because it's the large form. There is the larger leaf version, like the giant leaves. But this is just a regular peace lily that I've had for many years. I can't even tell you how many years I've had this plant for. Probably before I even started my YouTube journey. So it's incredibly bushy. Doesn't grow a lot of inflorescences. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 inflorescences. But because this is quite away from the window, it doesn't bloom much, but it definitely grows a lot of foliage, which is quite nice. And just below that, we've got this plant over here, my Maranta, just doing its thing. Again, pulled away from my window, so it doesn't grow as quickly and as bushy as I would like, but it still survives and it does just all right with the right amount of lighting. And it's actually growing a couple of new leaves. So here we go. This is it. This is where most of the collection resides. I've crammed in quite a lot of plants into this little space. So let's have a look. We're going to start from the ground and then work our way up. I think that's a good approach. So I think every plant down here is probably the newest plants to my collection. This was actually part of a bouquet. I think somebody got my mum or my sister some flowers, and my mum was like, oh, you can definitely grow this. So she took it out of the bouquet. We stuck it in some soil. There were two cuttings. There's another one. And surprisingly, I think it's rooted, which is, yeah, which is cool. I'm not even sure what type of plant this is. This is almost like a little bit of an experiment. And then it worked. It worked. And then my mum, when she was here, she went to her friend's house and she has lots and lots of these jungle cacti. And she took a cutting from every single species that she had. So I'm not sure what the names are, but there are some, like we have this one, which is that sort of that zigzag kind of shape. I'm not doing super well, but we have others here, and I think each of them have like different flowers that emerge. This was also from her friend as well. I'm not sure what this plant is, but most of these are just jungle cactus that I'm on a journey to sort of get them growing, and they are doing pretty well, to be fair. Look, most of them have new growth. This one, this is a new growth, this big leaf here. So pretty successful if you ask me. This plant here I got from my auntie. This is like a, it's definitely a succulent kind of plant, but I'm not sure the name of it at all. It does remind me of a desert rose. So I think that's what attracted me to it. So I took a cutting of this. And yeah, it's doing well. It's definitely rooted, because basically all of this growth from about here upwards, that's a brand new growth. So the plant is definitely growing. If we move these out of the way, I've only just noticed, so as I'm recording this, I'm noticing that this is the second cutting of the forgetii that I had. So I don't know if you remember, I don't think I did a video on this actually, but my forgetii was really suffering. So there is a video that will be coming out on this plant actually, because I did try to do a whole thing to save it, and I'm glad to see that it's growing. So my mother plant started to really suffer, so I decided to chop it up and hopefully try to propagate, and I'm glad to say that both of them are doing all right. So that's really good to see. I didn't even notice that was happening. So we're gonna put this one back under the shelf. I'll put this one next to it so I can at least I can see what's going on. Whilst I'm here, I'm going to show you what we're working with over here. So this is the Queen Anthurium cutting that I'm trying to save. I don't think this one is going to make it at all. So I will leave it under the grow light and see if anything comes of it. This is another plant that my mum rescued and she asked me to grow it out. So we'll see what we can get out of this. I'm not sure if it's even rooted actually, but it hasn't died and it's been a couple of months. No! I just dropped it. Oh no. I'll clean that up in a second. Over here we have by far my tallest cactus. Look at this thing. This is my blue cactus. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, this plant is actually taller than me now. And when I got this thing wasn't even past my knee. But it's absolutely huge. And it just won't stop growing. Just an incredible, incredible cactus. I don't know what I'm going to do with this thing when it hits the ceiling. What do? Do I chop it and start again? Not sure, but we will see. Behind it, we have my, I want to say, this is my Euphorbia tri something. I forgot the name of it, but I don't think this is the tri one. I think this is a different species and I'm not too sure, but whatever's happened is definitely enjoying a growth spurt because you can see where the sort of the growth thinned out a bit. So something was definitely happening, maybe not enough nutrients, enough water, maybe not enough light, so it thins out. And now that we're into the summer, it thickens up and it grows properly again. So and it also has these little cute leaves on them, so that's coming in quite nicely. Just behind that we have this is my Hoya Crinkle 8, still flowering. Can you believe it? After 3 or 4 months, still going. We've got another one that's about to emerge over here. I'm not sure if there's any more. Oh, there's another one back here as well, actually. So this thing, yeah, just a very strong grower, a really good plant to have. And behind that is my fiddle leaf fig. Look at it. Another one that I did a chop on. You can see that over here. And look at that. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4 growth points. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I will do a full video on this and how I've gotten it into this stage. Looking really, really good. Really proud of that. Down here we've got my begonia. I think, yeah, begonia. I forgot the name of the begonia now, but this is looking cool. This I've had for many, many years as well. Growing well. A very thirsty plant, this one. Very thirsty. Down here we have the OG Imperial Red. Look at it. I just did a whole rescue video. Go check that one out. It's doing well. It's growing. We've got new leaves. We've got 1, 2, 3 new leaves. Another one on the way. It's doing A-OK. If we come across to this shelf, oh yeah, look at that. This is the rescue of the Queen Anthurium. I just stuck it in a bag so it has really high humidity. And yeah, it's growing. It's growing. I'm not going to show you too much because there's a video coming out on this one. And over here is another one. If you're looking closely, we got some more growth coming in. Now, this plant over here, I actually took a seed from St. Lucia when I went recently. It's of what we call a golden apple. And I'm not sure if golden apple in Jamaica, they refer to it as June plum. It might be, but it has a really spiky seed. I was like, I'm going to see if I can try to grow this when I get back home. And it's growing. Look at it. It's growing. It's growing. I'm hoping that I can turn this into like a little bonsai or something. So we'll see what happens. This plant over here, this is some kind of succulent. I'm not sure of the name. Funny story. Me and my mum were walking back from from a shopping centre. And I saw this. So it looks like somebody had bought it and it had fallen out because it wasn't near the shop. It was like in the middle of nowhere in like the little green patch somewhere. That's my mum. Oh, look at this. It's a little cactus thing. So we took it, chucked it in some rocks and some moss. And it's still here, so I imagine that it's growing. We have a, I forgot the full name of this, the Alocasia Blackjack, I think. So I'm trying to grow this one again. We'll see what happens. Keep an eye on that. This is some kind of philodendron that I'm trying to rescue, but I can't remember what type it is, which is a real shame. And then next to that is another philodendron ring of fire that I got from IKEA of all places, for a bargain. £6 I think I paid for this thing. I remember when this plant was like £100. Crazy. We've already touched on these plants, the fiddle leaf fig and the begonia. Back here I have a cutting that I'm trying to grow out for my neighbour of the fiddle leaf fig. So I took it off of this bit and then I've stuck it in some water down there, along with another cutting of my, if you can see it down there. So this is a fiddle leaf fig in here, as well as Ficus elastica as well, the burgundy one. So I've got both of them, trying to propagate them for my neighbour in here. Back here is another begonia, probably the toughest begonia that I have to care for, because this thing is super thirsty and it's also really, really far away. So I really struggle to stay on top of the watering for this one, but I'm going to try to find a better location for this thing. And coming out, look at that. This is almost, would I call this the main event? It probably is. It probably is. There's a whole bunch of plants here. Look at it. Ah, that is a sight for sore eyes, isn't it? Look at that. Here we have my Spiritus Sancti. Woo! This is one of its latest leaves. It's working on another secret leaf over here, which will definitely feature in an upcoming video, so stay tuned for that. I'm not going to show you too much. We've got the Monstera Thai constellation over here, recently featured on the channel. Look at that thing. That new leaf is looking good, and I feel like we're going to have another leaf coming in at some point, hopefully soon. In the same place, we have the Anthurium peltigrum. Oh yeah, doing well. I was really nervous about moving this plant from the grow tent into the open humidity, lower humidity environment. We're doing all right, so much so that we have a new leaf coming in. I'm not going to show you too much because that's going to be in a future video. We've got the King Anthurium in all its glory over there. Look. This thing is just so huge, so massive. Ah, love it. Now let's squeeze over here. We've got I forgot the name of this philodendron. It's not the Mycans. It does look like, not the Mycans. What is this called again? I forgot the name of this thing. But this, I had it grew quite large. It started to die, and I've managed to sort of bring it back a little bit, which is really cool. We've got what is the name of this one? Syngonium. I forgot the proper name of it. I got this in the plant swap, and it's still doing well. So there you go, really well. Another philodendron. I think I'm taking this plant for this, but I think they're very different, because this is, I think, is some sort of crawling plant, while this one is a climbing. So we'll see. I think this is a pink, orange, Prince of Orange philodendron, not sure. And then this one is a white princess, growing really quite large actually in what is such a small pot, so I might need to move that one at some point. Working our way up, another Anthurium. This is a mix. This is, I believe this is a Luxurians cross with a, what is this crossed with? Look how dark and lovely this leaf is. Wow. It's working on another one back there. Definitely stay tuned. That will be in a video of its own. I think this is crossed with Forgetii, if I'm not mistaken. We've got the philodendron White Ghost. White Ghost, is it? Or philodendron Florida Ghost? Philodendron Florida Ghost coming in quite nicely, doing its thing. We've got, forgot the name of this, Hoya, whatchamacallit, it starts with an R, forgot. And then we've got the Hoya CV Jennifer working on a new leaf back there as well. Lovely stuff. We've got I believe this is one of my hybrids that I made. And I think this one is the Forgetii cross with the Magnificum cross Regal. This is a really tough one for some reason, right? This plant I think has died and recovered on me about, I don't know, at this point we're probably on our 7th, 8th round. It's quite the rodeo with this one. Back there in this little tub, it's another rescue mission. This is the Fucatum back here. I'm not even going to bother taking it out. It's just Anthurium Fucatum. I've had it. It grew quite nicely and it just died back. It is growing. It's doing something in there, but not as much as I would like it to do. This is the original mutated Anthurium forgetii. Look at the texture on this leaf, unreal, absolutely unreal. So that's growing quite nicely over there. The top shelf over here we have Monstera Bowmark Flame is this one, working on another leaf. Again, stay tuned, I'm not going to talk too much, but I think this plant is in the middle of being reclassified as a Rhaphidophora, I think, but we'll see, we'll keep an eye on that. We've got the silver, Anthurium silver something, I forgot the name, guys, I'm really sorry. There we go, really tested me with this full talk. Silver bush, there we go. Have you seen a leaf this big on a silver bush? I haven't. Nice. And then we got another one of my hybrids here. So this is definitely a hybrid between the forgetii that I showed you earlier. That was the mother plant, and my Magnificent Regal. So that was doing really well. This is the latest leaf, growing absolutely massive. So staying on the top shelf, although this is the top shelf, right? But this is actually coming from the lower shelf. This is the Hoya Velosa. This thing has climbed all the way up here and it just won't stop growing. This thing is an absolute beast of a plant, right? It's just doing its thing. We've got my Scindapsus over here. It's doing all right. It's not great. It cascades all the way down and all the way around. You saw it over here. It's everywhere. This thing is just growing wild. Behind it, we have my Hoya linearis. That's doing okay as well. And then we have 3 trays of forgetii seedlings, 1, 2, 3. So they're all pretty much the same. Yeah, there's not really much to report. Some of them, like, it's really weird, right? And I'm not sure why. And I want to put this on tape again, because I have sold these in the past and I haven't sold any this year. And I do apologize. I do have to pull my finger out and put some onto eBay. But sometimes my forgetii will start growing with a lobe, and then, you know, I will sell it and people be like, oh, it's not a forgetii, what is it, da 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 da. And then eventually, this is the same plant, right? This is the same plant, this is the latest leaf, no lobe, no sinus at all. And people, you know, I have had people sort of complain, and I'm just like, no, trust me, this is 100% forgetii. Like, it's a crossbreed between my own forgetii, and sometimes people just don't see it because it's just throwing out some really strange sort of forms when it grows, but that's all right. That's all right. Back here, I've got some other seedlings from my Anthurium forgetii, so that's coming in nicely. I probably needs a good water actually. But yeah, that closes off these 2 shelves. That's everything here. But then on the bottom here, we have, this is where all of my Hoya, well, most of my Hoya live. Most of them are here. So I told you, we looked at the Velosa, which is all the way up here, but really it starts all the way down here. Look at it, it's in this little tiny pot and it just snakes its way up there. We've got the Hoya Bella over here, recently bloomed for the first time. All the blooms have fallen off now. We got the mini something splash, mini Bella? No, I forgot the name of this one, but that one's doing okay. We've got the Fuawensis over here. Lovely stuff. We've got the Wilbur Grey doing its thing over here as well, right under the grow light. Grow light's right there. So that's how I sort of encourage that super silveriness. Lovely. We've got the Finlaysonii longleaf or Clemensorium, not sure. It's debatable. And then back here we've got the Pupula something. Pupula something. Oh my days, look at that. Guys, there's so many plants, There you go. So this one, I'm not sure what this is. At first when I got this, I thought it was a jungle boogie, philodendron jungle boogie. I don't think it is anymore. I don't even think this might be a philodendron. I think it might be something else. It's huge, massive, look at it. All of these stems that are coming in. Got lots of new leaves like this one over here. We got another one coming in down here, and then there was another one that I saw the other day as well. So lots and lots happening. Behind that, however, is my rubber tree. This is my rubber tree. This is my Ficus elastica. It's doing all right. Again, I showed you the cutting that I made of this one. So I've chopped off the top of this plant to propagate it because it's getting way too tall. And it has actually started to grow some offshoots. So hopefully it'll be a much bushier plant, hopefully. But it does keep dropping leaves. I think it needs a lot more light, but really, where am I going to put this plant? You can see that I'm struggling for space. There's nowhere to put this. So for now, it's going to have to just sort of survive here until I can sort out something better for it. Behind, however, this is, I'm not sure why this plant has just put itself into timeout. Oh, it's got such a lovely leaf, and it said, you know what, I don't want any part of this. I don't want to see anything. I'm going to give it a little bit of a rotation. There we go. I gave it a little spin, so at least now those leaves can do its thing. But this is, what is the name of this plant? This is my anthurium. Forgot the name. This is the first velvet leaf anthurium that I got. You can see some of the leaves not doing great. But we do have 2 new leaves. So this is one of the new leaves. Over here, you can see that. Looking good. And then back there as well. That one's still hardening off, so I don't want to touch it too much. And then back here, we have a struggling, look at it, super struggling orchid. It's just not doing great at all. I don't know what to do with this plant. I think I'm just gonna let it, I'm gonna keep watering it until it goes, basically. But there's not really much I can do. These things get all over the place. So really sorry about that. But yeah, this plant did have like leaves. Jeez, man, plants are getting all over the place. But this thing did have leaves all the way up its stem. And now it's just not looking great. I don't know what to do. So we'll just let it do its thing until it goes, basically. I've completely forgotten about this philodendron over here as well. This is the pigskin rugosum philodendron, which is tucked in all the way at the back of these plants. Woo! That was a lot of work for what is such a small space. Just to sort of explain to you what plants that I've got. I'm quite surprised I remember all of the names that I did, but you know, when you spend as much time with these plants, it's probably going to be easier than you think. Next stop, however, is the grow tent. We're going to have a look at all of the plants I have in there. It's going to be a shorter tour, this bit, because I have less plants in there than I do out here. But let's go straight into it. Alrighty, look at that. Tuck the door back there. And we're going to start from the bottom. We're going to start from here. This, ladies and gentlemen, is my Anthurium magnificum regale. This almost died, and I was able to save it, and it's growing really well. It actually has some cuttings, other cuttings in there. There's some Syngonium cuttings, the Aurea, I think it is, down here as well. So that's doing super well. Next to that, not going to talk too much about this, but this is the Anthurium Delta Force. It's coming up in another video. Next to that is my Anthurium regale. It's the regale, pure regale. Another plant that I've had a lot of back and forth with, and I'm glad to see that it's doing well. I should just call this like the Anthurium shelf. There's so many on here. And then this is another Anthurium. This is my Anthurium cutacuense. A lovely, lovely plant that I need to figure out what the hell am I going to do with it, because look at it. Look at it. It's just thinning out. It's super thirsty. I think it needs a bigger pot. It needs a climbing pole. Hopefully, I don't know. I don't think this plant would survive outside of a higher humidity environment. So for example, I've just opened this up, but we're on 62% in here and I haven't even watered. Whereas outdoors would be closer to 30. So I need to figure out what to do with the cutacuense. Up here, this is where my Stephanias live. This is the Erectica over here. And then this is the Nova. They live back here. That's doing super well. We've got a couple of rescue projects happening in here. It's that same plant that I showed you on the other shelf back there. So that one's coming in all right. There's some more philodendron rescues in here. They're growing. They're doing okay. I'm not sure what plant this is, but this is a philodendron of some philodendron. It's an anthurium of some sorts. I'm not sure what type it is, but I've had this for ages. It's not really growing very much, so we'll just keep an eye on that. That is a dying Anthurium forgettii back here. It's just a stem. It lost all its leaves. In here though, look at it, it's growing. Oh my days, I've just noticed. So I bought a guava once. It was a delicious guava. And I thought, you know what, I'm gonna try to grow it out. And look at that, I chucked a couple of seeds in there. It took ages, months in fact, but it's finally doing something. This in here is a rescue. I did a cutting of the cuticulents. It was growing, but now it looks like it's yellowing and dying in there, which is a shame. This is the Anthurium. Oh God, what's its name? This is the one with the Wendenderlii or whatever it's called. This is it. I need to figure out something to do. Look at that, it's got a new leaf back there as well. So that's coming in nicely. To figure out what to do with this, because it definitely needs a new pot and it needs to be probably buried a bit more so some of these other roots can take hold. So we'll keep an eye on that. We have a Anthurium forgetii, another sort of strange form, another pillowy one that's growing. Got a new leaf on the way over here. So that's coming in nicely. And then this plant back here, I did a trade with someone. I think it's an Anthurium King of Spades cross forgetii crossed with what's an Ace of Spades cross Pappy. So there's a lot of plant genes and diversity going on in this one. We'll just put that back so we don't damage it. And look at it, it's a lovely, lovely leaf. Great texture on it actually, very dark. And I quite like that. So that's the end of the cabinet tour. Lovely. So we are now in my kitchen. This is the largest collection of my cacti and succulents. Let me show you them. So if we go from left to right, this is my, what is this called again? This is my cactus, the pad. I forgot the name of this. Jeez, but I can't remember. But anyway, this for the first year has given me the most pads in 1 year ever. Look at that. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pads all in 1 year. This thing is on a roll, so I can't be happier. Over here we have some other, oh, I forgot the name. I forgot the name of these ones, but I showed a video of a similar one I have upstairs, and I will get to it at some point. And they grow the sort of the larger, weird looking flowers. So that's 2 of that species. So that's quite cool. We've got some of these snake plants. We've got this one, the copper kind of looking one. And we got the sort of the more common one back here as well, tucked away. We've got this euphorbia with the lovely red flowers on it. Lovely, got 2 varieties in there. Got this one and another one in the same pot. We got some more of those pad cactus. It's a different species though. Not sure what's going on because this one is really wrinkly from here upwards. So I'm not sure what's happening here. We do have this plant. This is the jade plant, the crassula. Lovely thing. I really want this thing to fatten up and grow just super big, chunky, bushy, so I can turn it into a lovely bonsai. Cannot wait, but that's going to take me 20 years. Gosh. So definitely stay tuned for that. Stay tuned the next 20 years to see what I do with that. We have these cacti. I think I had a, oh, here it is. They call the old man cactus. Is this the name given to this one? And here my lovely neighbors decided to gift me this is a kind of a regular Anthurium. Lovely, love this one. Central, lovely. We have another cactus over here. If I move things around, you can see that this one actually has flowers on it. It's lovely, lovely. This plant every year produces just some incredible blooms. So that's really, really cool. Really like that. And then putting this one back where it was. This one, there's a couple of varieties, 2 varieties in here. Forgot the name of these plants though, but nice, bushy, probably in need of a repot. Over here's another cactus garden that I attempted. There were 3 cactus in here, and I wanted this to be sort of my my monstrose and sort of weird cactus. I had another one in here. It was a crested euphorbia. That one sadly died, but I have now got a replacement for that. but it's living somewhere else. I think it came down with mealybugs actually, and I think that's what killed it. But the two of them have survived, and I have treated them. So I'll just leave these two in here until I can find a better home for them. Over here we've got my Forbesii, Cereus Forbesii, a lovely plant. Look at it, it's growing every year. It's growing every year. Really, really cool. Oh, lovely, lovely stuff. And then over here we have another cactus. I think it's the same Opuntia monocanthia. And I showed you, that was one of the first cactus that I showed you on the windowsill in the living room. I think this is what that plant can grow to be. Over here we have some, is this a Scindapsus? I believe it is. And this just lives on top of my kitchen hood thing. And it does all right. It does all right. Super bushy, super healthy, lovely. On the other side of the kitchen, we have a couple of other plants just around the table. We have the, what is this? Let's just call it the Radicans variegata, because that first name I struggle to pronounce. But this is doing, I just got this as a very small cutting, and look at it, it's doing super, super well. Down here we have the tricolor. This is lovely, lovely plant, staple, solid grower. Haven't had any issues with this plant at all. And right next to it is another, this is the rattlesnake, similarly doing all right. I've had to cut off a lot of dead leaves because I had this plant in a bowl where you couldn't see what was going on inside. And it had lots of water in there, so it got a lot of damage, and that really hurt the leaves, so I had to cut off quite a few. And then back here we have some cuttings of my Monstera deliciosa, just in some water. It's just propagated in some water. And that's it for the kitchen tour. And over here on my stairs is another little pocket of plants, and mostly these are my sort of my dragon trees. I got two over here, and this is where they live, right next to a west facing window, so they get plenty of light. And then we've got some other climbing plants. Over here we have the oh my gosh, what is this called? There's something blue. This plant for a long time just refused to grow. I got a cutting of it. I stuck it in the same pot as this Monstera, I forgot the name of this one as well. These are in need of a good bit of dusting. Look at that. Wow, I need to do better. But yeah, because you know what? I find that whenever I have a plant that just does its thing, it does well, I tend not to sort of try to disturb it, try to go in and clean leaves, but I really should, because that is not all right. That is not on. I'm going to sort that out. But yeah, these two are living in the same pot, both growing on this plank that I made. It's just a bit of 2x4 or whatever it is. And I stuck it in the back of the, oh, it's not even in the back of the plant. I turned it into a plant holder. So there you go. It's got a base, and then the pot sits on top of that, and then I just wrap the plant on the thing. So that seemed to work very well, actually. Haven't had any issues with this at all. Works better than moss pot, if you ask me. Then we've got another sort of dragon tree plant over here. This plant, this morning I noticed, had mealybugs on it. Look at it. You can see them on here. Disgusting things. I'm going to wash my hands after I touch these, actually, because I don't want to spread it. And it also had, I'm not sure if these are mealy, they might be mealy, but it also had aphids on it as well. And I think the aphids are being attracted by this. And this is, I think, some sort of sweet pepper plant that was, the seeds were thrown in here, because this was originally in my kitchen. And I think some seeds were thrown in here and it grew, but it's just a super thirsty plant. So I might just try to remove or just cut the pepper plant out completely, because one, is attracting pests. And I've never really had to deal with aphids in my collection before. This is the first time I've noticed it. So I've had to pull out the bug clear on it as well this morning. So I gave it a good spray. And then down here, I sort of stuck some of these plants in here. It's got very something. I forgot the name of this plant, but I've stuck that in there. So this plant actually gets super, super thirsty, because there's a lot happening in there. There's a lot of plants competing for the resources. But I think I will actually just get rid of the pepper, because it's just causing more harm than good, if you ask me. Right. Let's wash my hands, and then we're going to head upstairs. On the window ledge in the toilet, we've got a lovely domino peace lily. Look at the separation on that, the variegation. That's a perfect 50-50. This one definitely, for its size, it's not that big, has more, like a more dense bloom to foliage than the peace lily downstairs, just because it gets so much light, you know, that bright west facing light. I think to clean it up, I've got some dead leaves on this one. And then over here in the bathroom, we have this begonia. What do they call this one? Compacta or something? Starts with a C anyway. But it's the lovely sort of circular leaves with that red dot in the middle. Over here, we have a philodendron that's propagating away in some water, as well as with some Hoya cuttings. We'll just leave that as it is. We've got a pothos in that bag over there. That's mostly for quarantine rather than anything else. I just want to make sure there's nothing that's going to spread to my plants. This is where I keep all of the desert roses. Look at them. Got the other one back here as well. This one's blooming. I think this bloom's about to fall off. This was the first bloom that came out, but look, we got the second one and the third one. Lovely, lovely stuff. This is a euphorbia that I told you about downstairs that I had in the other one. So I think it was a cutting of this one that I had in that sort of cactus garden thing. And but the mother plant is still here. There we go. That's a better view of that. Look at it. It's got 3 growth points coming in. Super. This plant for a long time has done nothing, and now all of a sudden it's growing 3 new growth points. We have the Hoya obovata over here. Recently did a video on that. Go check it out. Lovely stuff. I got some Hoya cuttings in here propagating away. CV Jennifer mostly, and 1, 2 4 Wensises down here as well. We've got this bowmark variegated. What is it? A philodendron bowmark variegated. It's doing all right. We've got this plant over here. I think this is just like a bulletproof plant. This is a monstera. Look at it. It's doing all right. This plant has tried to die. Don't know if the last time I showed you this video, this whole thing was completely bare, had no leaves on it at all, and I thought it was just going to die, and I could throw it away and reuse the pot for something else. But no, it decided to bounce back. And bounce back it did with some huge leaves. Look at the size of this thing. Woo! This is my dumb cane. And it's massive. It's absolutely huge. Refuses to stop growing. Almost touching the ceiling. It's doing super well. Recently repotted it into a massive, massive pot. So hopefully it could stay in there for a good few years. This thing is doing super well. I've got a philodendron pink princess over here as well. Just growing wild. I'm just letting it do its thing. Not sure what I'm going to do with that plant, but it's doing all right. It's doing okay. This is the plant that I forgot the name of. I showed you 2 other varieties downstairs. The Hurenia plawestii. I'm not sure what the other ones are, but it's definitely a Hurenia. And then, yeah, this is the plawestii. I got 2 of them. This one still has a lovely flower on it. Lovely stuff. We've got 2 varieties of jungle cactus on here. That's 1. And then that's 2. I think one's like a Thanksgiving, one's a Christmas cactus. Can't really be sure. We got some cuttings of my Skindapsis. No, it's not Skindapsis. Of my thingy, the Aurea. Forgot the name of it. We have my ficus over here. Again, this one needs a good clean. Look at that. That is dreadful. I need to give this plant a good shower. Jeez. Okay. All right. That's something I'm going to do. And then we've got my little greenhouse grow tent thing over here, windowsill. So I got some more of that. It's not the Skindapsis, it's the, what's the name of this thing now? Syngonium aurea as well. Lovely. And there's lots of other plants in there. An orchid. We've got the 1 orchid in here, another variety. That one's growing all right. There's like string of hearts in there. There's lots of plants in here. And we even have my last remaining alocasia. I stuck the last few bulbs in here just hoping that something would happen, and one of them actually survived. And there's lots of like dead leaves and debris in here. There's a lot to sort of do in here. I need to sort it out. I really do. I think there's a sort of a begonia in here as well, if I remember correctly. Back here, if I dig through. Oh yeah, there is. It's still here. It's still going strong. Look at it. It looks like a bit of a romaine lettuce. But don't eat it. Don't eat it, guys. And last but not least, I want to show you some plants I have growing outdoors. Some of them are doing all right. Some are not. Anyway, we'll go through it. Over here, we have my carrots. So here are the carrots. These things super thirsty. Who would have thought, right? But yeah, most of them are doing all right. I managed to harvest 1 super early. And it tasted quite good, actually. Not going to lie. there are a lot of brown edges. It's been very hot, so they do dry out quite a lot. I have a romaine lettuce here. I don't think that thing's gonna make it. Look at it, it's wilting. It's not looking great. We have lots of carrots. We've got a couple of onions in here as well. They're doing all right, I think. They haven't died, which is good. My neighbor was very kind and gave me this banana tree thing. Apparently you can eat the base. So in the winter, when it starts to die back, you can chop it off, take the base out and turn it into like a curry or something. So that's doing all right, I guess. The most abundant in my garden is like spring onion and onions. So I grew some from some like onion scapes early in the year. You can see them coming through nicely over here, over there. We got regular white onions, and then we've got some brown ones as well. We've got some in this pot. These are mainly spring onions over here, and we got some onions over here as well. Look at that. I don't know, let me know if these are ready to be harvested, because they have fallen over, and that's what I've heard. You know, when they fall over, they're ready, but I don't know. Some of them are tiny. Ouch, just got a thorn in my finger. This garden is full of raspberries, like full of them. Need to find a way to get rid of them. But yeah, let me know if you think these are ready to be harvested and how I do that, because apparently I'm meant to take them, hang them up, let them dry for a bit so they last a bit longer. Don't know, let me know. And then over here we have some rosemary. Look at that, my spring onions seeding. Just let that fall in here actually, and who knows, might get some more spring onions in due course. We'll see. So that brings us to the end of this video. And I just want to take this time to say a huge thank you. Thank you so much if you've ever watched any of my videos. And if this is the first time that you're seeing my video, then I hope this one sparks your interest and you join me on the rest of the ride. Can you believe it's been 5 years? 5 years. December 2020 was the first video released on this channel. And here we are, almost 5 years later. And if you've been here with me that entire time, listen, my heart goes out to you. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been an incredible journey with ups and downs, and sometimes it feels like I'm going through the rapids and not really knowing what to do, but having a strong community backing from you guys, it makes it all worth it in the end. So from the bottom of my heart, I really want to say thank you and I appreciate you. And as always, keep planting.